Everyone and their mom has been talking about Clawdbot. Clawdbot now goes by MoltBot just to avoid getting sued by Anthropic, the company that makes Claude. People have been running out, buying Mac Minis like crazy, setting up their own virtual servers just to run this thing. Some people are calling it fucking insane. Some are calling it the greatest app ever, while others are saying that it's mostly hype and actually that Clawdbot sucks. Others are going even further, saying that disaster is coming. By using Clawdbot on an open server, you're basically just inviting hackers to take control of your system. Some are even saying that Clawdbot is going rogue and gaining access to your keychain passwords without you telling it to do so. There are plenty of technical tutorials out now telling you how you can install Clawdbot, so I'm not going to talk about that today. First, really quickly, I want to tell you what exactly Clawdbot is. And I spent the last 24 hours scouring the internet, looking at X, looking at YouTube, looking at Reddit to bring you 63 of the best possible use cases for Clawdbot. This is all designed to get you thinking about how you could possibly use Clawdbot for yourself if you decide to do so. So, what is Clawdbot? Clawdbot is an open source AI agent developed by this guy, Peter Steinberger, who some people are calling an overnight success, but really, if you look at his GitHub profile, he has been doing this for a long time. At a high level, Clawdbot is just a fancy AI agent. Some people are calling it the greatest AI employee ever. Other people are saying you could already do this stuff. There are basically three main components of it. The idea is that you message Clawdbot using WhatsApp, Telegram, or Discord. It's powered by an AI brain like ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini, and then it basically can take actions on your behalf without you having to tell it specifically what to do. So, without further ado, here are 63 ways that other people are using Clawdbot so you can figure out whether or not you should be using Clawdbot too. The first way is admittedly silly, but I thought it was pretty funny, so I included it here. This guy basically asked Clawdbot to create an animated face for itself that now just kind of lives and breathes on its desktop. This guy, Michael Beer, is actually having Clawdbot detect when he's about to wake up and order him breakfast. Clawdbot isn't just ordering food for pickup, it's actually ordering it for delivery. So presumably, by the time Michael wakes up, he actually has a salmon avocado bagel at the door waiting for him. Alex Finn went on Greg Eisenberg's podcast to talk about how he's using Clawdbot, and one of the things he does is he just has Clawdbot basically act as a glorified Siri and send him a morning briefing, kind of the weather, and then some of the tasks that Clawdbot actually tackled overnight. One of the things that is most powerful about Clawdbot is that it can take actions without you having to monitor it, so he actually has it set up to perform tasks overnight and then send him the status update with actually what it got done. In addition to that morning digest, it actually has Clawdbot doing a competitor scan on YouTube. So you can see here that it detected 10 new YouTube videos overnight, and it found this outlier video by Nate B. Jones about kilo code, and it hit 30,000 views. So if you're a content creator, you can basically have Clawdbot search the internet to find trending or outlier content for you to create your next pieces of content around. One of the coolest things that I've seen Clawdbot do is this. I've seen a couple people create Kanban boards like this, and this is probably just generally a best practice so you actually know what Clawdbot is up to. This is just a project management tracker that Clawdbot built itself to track its own projects. So this is just a way for you to go in to see what Clawdbot is working on, what's in progress, what it's finished, and assign it new tasks to do. This is a great way to keep track of your system to understand what it's actually working on. Liam Otley shared what I think is a really interesting use case for Clawdbot, basically an assistant in a box. So if you have an AI agency or something like that, you can actually sell the setup of Clawdbot as a service. So you can find other businesses who don't know how to set up Clawdbot themselves. You can go into their business, identify their processes that Clawdbot may actually be able to take over for them, and just sell the setup for them, and then have a recurring revenue deal, $500 to $2,000 a month per client to keep the system running and operational. I think that's pretty cool. Matt Wolf actually connected Clawdbot to Remotion, which has a new MCP server out, to create these motion graphics style videos all on its own. Clawdbot is apparently great for deep research. So he has Clawdbot going out, scouring the internet, doing content research and prep, compiling AI news throughout the week so that he can put it together for the video that he releases every Friday. He has Clawdbot doing email messaging and triage. You can connect Clawdbot to your email provider. It can actually read and respond to emails for you. It can monitor your social content or traffic, so anytime people mention you or your competitors, it can send you a daily or weekly digest, and it can even send you reminders. So is this really just a glorified Siri, or is this something more? Jay from RoboNuggets took the Remotion use case a bit further, and he's actually having Clawdbot generate clips from his long form videos, kind of similar to how Opus Clips would do it. It takes a long form video, it identifies the transcript pieces that are actually the most high value, and then it goes through and actually makes those edits for you and even adds captions. He even trained it to go search for B-roll footage to actually cut into the video itself so that you have a little bit more variety in your content. These are a couple more futuristic use cases for Clawdbot to actually connect Clawdbot to your Meta Ray-Ban AI glasses. Pretty cool. So one, snap a photo of a photo receipt with your Ray-Bans. You can send it to Clawdbot via WhatsApp and then log it to your expenses, categorize it, and add it as a line item. If you're walking down the street and you come across an event flyer, snap a photo with your Ray-Bans, add it to your calendar, invite your wife, kind of set a reminder, basically get yourself all ready for this event. If you're in a meeting and somebody is drawing on a whiteboard, snap a photo of the whiteboard, ask it to turn it into a task list, group it into milestones, and add it to my to-do list and a summary note in Notion. So you can connect Clawdbot to all of these third-party tools like Notion and your calendar and Slack. And so you can basically have Clawdbot running this entire business ecosystem for you. Not only that, but Clawdbot connects with all of the latest AI image and video tools like Nano Banana. You can basically snap a photo of a ref sketch and actually have it turn it into a modern, clean infographic. Great for social media, great for your colleagues, great for the internet, post it on Reddit, whatever you want to do. If you have a smart home, you can actually have it run a house check. Honestly, because of all the security stuff, I don't know if I would recommend this, but let me know if I locked my doors, closed my garage, and what the thermostat is set to. So it's up to you if you want to connect Clawdbot to your smart home. Honestly, I'd probably advise against it, but still pretty cool. And this last one I thought was pretty funny. If your hotel room sucks, activate the Karen skill, find who to contact at corporate, draft a complaint about the room, mention I'm a rewards member, and send it. And again, what's so powerful about Clawdbot is this is a server that's always on. That's why people are running it on Mac Mini or a VPS. This is something that will just run 24/7, whether you're instructing it to or not. This is actually one of the strongest use cases I've seen for it so far. This guy, AJ, said Clawdbot just saved him $4,200 on a car. He actually wrote this whole write-up about it. Basically, Clawdbot went ahead and after AJ had decided on what kind of car to buy, it just did a whole bunch of deep research on the internet. You can see it said search Reddit and find the typical and lowest prices people paid for the Hyundai Palisade in Massachusetts. And it just went through and it found out how much people pay on average. It actually found the car using this site, hexorcism.com. I don't even know what that is, but it went through all of the inventory. It even sent emails negotiating the price back and forth for him until he was actually able to close on the car itself. Clawdbot is also obviously incredibly powerful for coding. Nat is using Clawdbot as a coding partner. He basically communicates with it like another engineer or developer. So he just tells it that they're working on some app improvements and that it should just take notes for now. So it's going to open the app, it's going to run through the user flows, he's going to send Claude screenshots with notes, and if he finds any issues or improvements, he's just going to tell Clawdbot about it. So as they're talking and having this conversation, Clawdbot's just going to build a list of to-do items as they go. It's going to add its own notes and hypotheses about why things are happening or breaking or not working or where improvements can be made. And then as soon as he's done with that, it's going to write up a full report on what to do next. And after Nat goes ahead and reviews that report, he basically just says, hey, Clawdbot, go to work. And he goes and he takes a hike or he has some lunch or whatever he does. And Clawdbot's going to just kick off some agents to attack all of the different pieces. Clawdbot is extremely smart, so it's not just going to tackle this like in one single path. It's going to spin up multiple agents to operate on these PRDs at the same time, and it's actually going to review all of them, review all of the pull requests on GitHub. It's going to make a document of everything that they did and what to test. So it's just going to make sure that everything works. And then at the end, it's just going to send him a list of everything that it did, all 6 agents complete. So again, this is like extremely powerful just to have like a development partner just sitting on your desk at home. Mia went ahead and listed 10 Clawdbot skills for running paid media. She says not many people are talking about Clawdbot for ads. So basically you can have this send you a daily ad alert. It could send you yesterday's spend, clicks, conversions, and top and worst performers to Telegram or Slack so you can monitor your performance. It can summarize your click-through rates or your ROAS and engagement of all of your creative every single day so you know what's working and what's not. It can auto-pause poor creatives for you. So if you have creative ads that are running out there that are underperforming, Clawdbot can proactively take initiative and just put those ads on pause. It can warn you if daily spend is 50% over or under your target, and you can adjust accordingly, or it can adjust for you, or if your campaigns have zero spend allocated to them. It can identify high-performing target keywords to add and poor ones to block every single week. It can watch your competitors for you. It can monitor all of your A/B tests. It can declare winners and select them, or it can pause losers if they're not working. It can check your landing page, can ping a URL every 2 hours and just let you know if a page is down or slow. It can warn you if campaigns applications are exceeding the set CPA or if they're underperforming, and it can send you a weekly performance digest all ready to go for you, again, completely on autopilot. This is the most powerful thing to me about Clawdbot, is that it is so proactive. The more it gets to know you and the more you have conversations with it, the more it understands your working style, and you can actually give it instructions to be more proactive. Like, come to me every day with an action plan of what you want to work on today that would move my business forward, right? Then you can just review that list and tell it, yeah, like, go get to work on that stuff. Dan is going to get his parents' business. They have a tea business running, so it's going to schedule shifts for him. It's going to follow up with their B2B customers. It's going to manage their inventory, do customer support, and it's going to constantly improve itself. So Clawdbot is going to run his parents' entire business. This is not financial advice. There's a lot of memes and jokes about this going around right now, but Kevin said he gave Clawdbot access to his portfolio and said, trade this to $1 million and don't make mistakes. It traded 24/7 and it lost everything, but boy, was it beautiful. So obviously this is a joke, but this is the type of thing that you could have Clawdbot do if you wanted to give it access to your financial information or your portfolio. Obviously, not financial advice. I recommend against it, but it just goes to show how incredible these tools are getting. Matthew is using Clawdbot to respond to all of his posts on X. So anybody who comments on his posts, Clawdbot is just going in and then replying to them. It's going to save him so much time, increase his engagement, and obviously the algorithm on X is going to love him for it. Andre is clearly a power user, so here are all of the things that he's using Clawdbot for. He's using it to check his incoming mail and remove spam. He's using it to order things for him, presumably from Amazon or something like that, sending reminders, creating issues on GitHub, syncing to Google's Places so he can ask it to where to go. It's going to read all of his bookmarks on X and discuss them with him. Maybe Clawdbot is going to be smart and say, hey, remember that bookmark you saved 3 months ago? This is super relevant to you right now. He talks to it while he's driving, and it generates a nice PDF summary of what we discussed. So if you're a person who likes to think on the go, you can talk to Clawdbot and you can say, hey, based off our discussion, come up with some tasks for you to perform. He has it keep track of costs and split them after a trip with friends. He's using it to generate images and impersonate him in group chats. So we're no longer human, I guess is what he's saying. This guy on Reddit is having Clawdbot make reservations for him, and he has a to-do list that Clawdbot can just scan and say, hey, like, let me take that off that plate. I'll handle it for you. Here are 10 more things people are actually using it for: email management to clear inboxes, unsubscribe from lists, draft responses, organize messages into folders, for calendaring and scheduling to manage all of your appointments, for flight and for travel. It can check in for your flights for you, can monitor flight status, find booking travel arrangements. Coding and development is just getting super powered right now. People are running this autonomously. They're running processes in parallel. It's coding multiple apps at the same time. People are using this for health and fitness tracking. It can integrate with whatever you're using to track your health. It can monitor your stats and provide briefings. It can track your biomarkers, any of that stuff. People are using this to control their smart home, like lights, air quality, any other devices based off a schedule, running deep research tasks in the background, summarizing documents, creating content pipelines. It's finding and organizing files. It converts formats. It's extracting information from PDFs. People are using this for insurance and administrative tasks. Their Clawdbot accidentally started a dispute with their insurance company and got a rejected claim reinvestigated. That's pretty cool. And then people are just using it for personal knowledge management. Just kind of brain dump. Use this as your knowledge base. Let it act as a clone of yourself. All this to say, Clawdbot is incredibly powerful. It gets way more powerful the more skills you give to it. So what's pretty cool is MoltHub here. It's still clawdhub.com/skills. Just go to this URL and here are all of the skills that are available to you. What's pretty cool about Clawdbot or MoltBot, whatever it is now, is that it is all open source. So this list of skills is going to grow over time the more the community contributes to it. These are basically all of the things that it can do. It can watch all of the pump fund tokens, crypto tokens that are launching. You can see it can connect with X for you. It can connect to MoonPay. It can connect to Air France. It can connect to your Tesla. It can go through, can connect to Supabase to manage all of your databases and things like that. It can help generate a resume. So just give these skills to Clawdbot and it's going to perform actions for you completely on autopilot. I was on this skill list earlier today and it has already grown exponentially since then. So let me know in the comments, are you going to be using Clawdbot? If so, what are you going to be using it for? And if you want to see how I use one of the other most popular AI tools right now, Google's anti-gravity, to build a badass website for Elon Musk and his flamethrower, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there.